Hey, all right. That would be a good day. But I hope you're in the rapture, which is before that. Okay, here we go. We are going to look at some secrets tonight. And we don't like secrets around here. I think it's one of the worst things churches can do, you know. Most churches, the preacher has secret meetings with the deacon board and secret meetings here. And say, oh, man, get off of it. Look at this picture of this guy. He's in the news everywhere. Now, this is a few years ago when he was doing a little bit better. And now this guy is a unique pope. He's the first pope in the history of popery that's a Jesuit. He was a Jesuit. Now, the Jesuits is, does anybody know what the Jesuits is? It's an order of priests, of cardinals or Catholic priests who work directly for the Pope as secret service. Started by a guy named, what was his name, Lauda or something like that. He was the first one hundreds of years ago. So they're the Vatican's basically CIA. They go undercover. They do everything in secrets. We don't like secrets. Here's another picture of him. Do you think there should be secrets in Christianity? That right there don't make any sense, does it? Our Christianity should not be secret. We shouldn't be undercover Christians. Look at him here. I always like this because, you know, he's got his hands, it looks like he's thinking. What do you think? If you was to write the caption for this picture, what would you write? To me, he looks like, am I really the devil incarnate? Yes, you are, sir. Yes, you are. Anyway, so I just want you to know that they had never picked a Jesuit. The Jesuits wear the black robes. They're called the Black Robe group or whatever. I don't know. But this guy was. So that tells you something was shifting. They're the secret service for the Pope. Now, I want to show you something. Now, I want to tell you something first. I was born in 1964. John F. Kennedy was killed in 1963. So, when I was a young boy in my teenage years, there was a documentary made about the assassination of JFK. And I don't remember the name of it anymore or anything, but I watched it with my dad. And my dad, of course, lived through that. He said it was so strange because he said nobody, especially nobody in the South, thought there was any way for John F. Kennedy to get voted in as the President of the United States solely because he was Catholic. There wasn't anybody going to vote in a Catholic. Now, your government is pretty much, not completely, but pretty much 50% Catholic and 50% Jews. Now, I want to show you this picture of all, this is not the Catholic universities, this is the Jesuit universities in America. There's 28 of them. They are some of the most prestigious universities of higher learning on the planet. Do you think they might have an agenda? I'm going to show you what their agenda is in a minute. But there's 28 of them, and as you'll notice, they're really concentrated on the East Coast. Now look at the number of them worldwide. Now, this was the best picture I could find, but it isn't very good. But the little white dots are not Catholic universities. Please understand. These are Jesuit universities. They're totally different. They're everywhere. Do you think they have an agenda? Now, this is something to think about. I want to show you now the Jesuit oath, or what's known as the Jesuit Creed. So the man we just showed you his picture, which was the Pope that just died, he signed this creed. Now, if you will, Tim, if you'll go down to where there's some red letters, and we'll miss, okay, right here. Now, I'll send this to you if you want to read the whole thing. It's very interesting. But this highlights these points that are the most shocking, so you don't have to read the whole document, okay? So let's read this together. This is what they say. It's not very big for me to read, but I'm trying to go back and find the first of the sentence before the red stuff. I think he's going to make it a little bigger. Okay, this is what they say they'll do. Even to descend so low as to become a Jew among Jews. Now, these are Secret Service. We don't like secrets here. These Jesuits say they'll go undercover to destroy nations. They say they'll go into school boards. They say they'll go into different government offices. They say they'll play the part of Christians. They say they'll play the part of Muslims. They'll play the part of Jews. Whatever they have to do. There's not one mention of Jesus Christ's crucifixion, resurrection in the whole document. Their allegiance is to the Pope and the Mother Church. There ain't anything Christian about it. So let's keep reading this, that you might be enabled to gather together all information for the benefit of your order as a faithful soldier of the Pope. Now, can you guys read that better to me? If you can read the next paragraph. Can Tim make it a little bigger? I'm sorry, Tim. Thank God for Tim.
Says you have been taught to insidiously plant the seeds of jealousy and hatred between communities, provinces, states that were at peace, and incite them to deeds of blood, involving them in war with each other.
Hang on. This is their oath that they'll go into places that were at peace and incite jealousy. I'm going to tell you something. That's the problem in churches. Envy. Unto blood. Unto nations. You want to know, have you ever asked yourself, why are all these nations fighting?
That's money.
It always goes back to money, don't it? Keep reading, Deanne, if you will.
Them in war with each other, and to create revolutions and civil wars in countries that were independent and prosperous, cultivating the arts and the sciences and enjoying the blessings of peace, to take sides with the combatants and to act secretly with your brother Jesuit, who might be engaged on the other side.
What? Do you think they might have a part with the Civil War that they've tried to kick off in America for years and years and years? It's a race war. They can't get it kicked off, but boy, they've tried, haven't they? Do you think these guys might be doing that? I don't know, but they say that's what they'll do, and they'll even work together when one Jesuit's on one side of the fence and one's on the other. Yeah. Have you ever, I feel like this all the time, and I don't know if it's real or if it's because I'm psychotic, I'm not sure. But sometimes I think, And I'll just be honest with you. I think you guys might be in on it too, but sometimes I feel like the whole world's in on this gag but me. Now, I want you to stop and think about it. We got nothing but time. This is supposedly Christianity. And the highest order of it makes this oath. And they're all over the world. And the Jesuits are not usually priests in some Catholic church. They're bankers. They sit on the boards of businesses. They're preachers in churches. Keep reading, Deanne, if you would, please.
But openly opposed to that with which you might be connected, only that the church might be the gainer in the end, in the conditions fixed in the treaties for peace, and that the end justifies the means.
Okay, you can read the rest of it. Go down, if you will, Tim. We'll find another section. You need to read this whole thing. You will not believe it. Now, this section here, Deanne, if you will, read that paragraph.
I furthermore promise and declare that I will, when opportunity present, make and wage relentless war, secretly or openly, against all heretics, Protestants and liberals, as I am directed to do, to expedite, is that what that says?
I think so.
Expedite and exterminate them from the face of the whole earth.
Okay, wait a minute. Who do you think they call a heretic? That's you, Jackie. And that's me. And that's, what did that oath just say? Well, what does, I mean, most Christians in America can't read the exterminate 4-syllable word. They don't even know what it means. Now, they've taken an oath to kill a heretic, and then they decide what a heretic is. And that would be anyone that would believe in Jesus alone, in faith alone. Martin Luther said, Scripture alone. Well, if you don't believe in the Catholic Church and the Pope and Mary, and then this oath says, I want you to get this. I didn't write this. This is a true thing that's been leaked for years. They make an oath to kill you. Do you wonder now how could they kill the most of you? It would be to trump up some kind of false war, and they send your kids to die. How many of you have figured out there ain't no politicians going over there? Lindsey Graham wouldn't know how to lace up his boots. Sarge could whoop Lindsey Graham with lupus. He's a poofta. But he sure wants to send your kids to war, and it doesn't matter to him which one. Is it Iran? Let's go bomb them. Is it Syria? Let's go kill them Syrians. They killed a whole bunch. They killed several more thousand Christians in Syria last week. Lindsey Graham is shouting the victory. Lindsey Graham wants to send your kids to Ukraine and fight for the Nazis. You figuring it out yet? Maybe they got Jesuits on one side and Jesuits on the other side. And they act like they hate each other, but they're working together. And who pays for it? Like our brother, the great theologian Gary said, somebody's getting rich. But it ain't us. Keep reading, if you will.
And that I will spare neither age, sex, or condition, and that I will hang, waste, boil, flay, strangle, and bury alive these infamous heretics, rip up the stomachs and wombs of their women, and crush their infants' heads against the wall.
Now, does that sound like a Christian minister to you? Keep reading.